So I'm back here at the Tech for New Teachers website, and I just went through really quickly how to get into your curriculum maps. I didn't get into how to really edit them, and that was for a reason. I'd really like you to work on that with your teams. So the curriculum maps, when you're working at what's called a core map, the core map means it's the same. There's one map there, and everybody is editing the same map. So if you change it on your map, you're changing it for everyone. So I'd appreciate if you didn't do that just yet, until you get with your teams. They can show you how the maps work for right now, but it gives you a sense of what you'll be teaching next year. What I really want for our curriculum maps, and I mentioned in my the Move Note presentation, is I want our curriculum to be transparent. There is a way for you through Curriculum Connector to go through and search any other map. It's not very intuitive though. So what I've done, I'm going to go to the second link, the Leiden Curriculum Maps and Course Syllabi public site, and if you click on it, this is something that I have put together and your department chairs have put together. And what I've done is gone through every single course, every single map, and published them. So for example, I was looking at Julio's Spanish 1. I'm going to go under Modern Languages, and you can see as I scroll over, every single course is in there. So if I take a look at Spanish 1, it should show the curriculum map. It's just taking a little while to load. Alright, so this is a published map to what you just saw, and if I scroll down, that's everything that's in the map. Now what you should know is this is very quick. It'll be a quick check of what's in your curriculum map. It's not dynamic, however. So you should be aware if your team members, let's say right now they're working on, or Julio's team members are working on the Spanish 1 map, and there's a lot of work that goes in over the summer, those changes won't be reflected necessarily in this map. This map is static. I will have to republish it once some changes are made, and then it'll be reflected in these. But just so you know. And as you're working on your maps during the school year, those changes, again, won't be immediately apparent right here. To get the most updated map, you should go through Performance Plus. But this, again, should give you a good sense of what's out there. And again, if you want to see, let's say, Julio's teaching Spanish 1, but he also wants to see, well, what's going on in Spanish 2, because he's teaching that, he can just click on Spanish 2, certainly. And if it loads, that would be helpful. There we go. So then you can see, okay, this is what's going on in Spanish 2, and to see how those two courses relate. But also, if he's not teaching Spanish 3, but he might want to know, what do those students need? Of course, he can always talk to his colleagues, but really quickly he can go to Spanish 3 and see what's going on there as well. So you get the idea. So you can see any course that you want. If you're a science teacher, you can see what's going on in the honors version of your science course, or the AP course that your students might be on track to take. You can go across and see what's going on in math, if you're interested, or English, if you're interested. So again, I mentioned in my first presentation the idea of cross-disciplinary communication. This is one attempt to do that. Now, what you'll also see in any of your courses is this Course Syllabus Template link. And this is something new we're going to be starting next year. Staff know about it. Staff have seen this maybe once or twice toward the end of the year, but it's going to be new for everybody. Now, you've already talked about Open Class, and I think we've talked about what the expectations are for Open Class with embedding your Google Calendar and your syllabus. I would like you, for all of your courses, to go to this website. I use Spanish 3 because I'm on it. I'm going to click on the Course Syllabus Template, and what should open is a Google Doc. And it's a Google Doc that I myself I own. It's public, you can view it, but I'd like you to use this template for your students. So there are a few non-negotiable things here. The format, everybody will be using the same format. Spanish 3, what you will be able to do is take a look here. You will make a copy for yourself, so then you can edit that copy. You share it with your students, and then you would embed that as a linked content area to your open class. We can help you more out with that in July once you kind of get used to it, or over the summer. Please email myself or Brian. We can help you out with that for your department chair. But to look at the syllabi, the course description that comes right from the course planning handbook. It'll tell you the credit weight. These little asterisks, I don't know what the plural is, but the asterisk means that these are non-negotiable. These are things that, although you could change it on your copy of the syllabus, you shouldn't. The link to the published core curriculum map just will bring you back to that site. But this is meant, again, to be public, so students can get to that site easily as well. We have worked on priority standards. I talked a little bit about standards, and that would be sort of a focus for 2014-2015, among other things, focus on standards and assessments, and those are very related things. So what we wanted to do is take a look at what are the most important standards in every course. If we can prioritize, as opposed to just having a laundry list of 30 or 40 standards and we got to hit them all, let's focus more on what are the most important standards that we have. And for modern languages, Spanish 3, for example, this is what they've chosen. What I also want are the grading categories and the category percent weights. All instructors of a particular course, this should be common. And we worked on this toward the end of the year. For some of your courses, this may not be filled in yet. Oops. This may not be filled in yet, but once the school year starts, you will be able to get a hold of your curriculum members and your department chair, and we'll fill these in. So I just want to make you aware, again, the grading categories will be common to everybody in the team. It also gives you some more information about our just common grading scale, 90, 80, 70, 60. You can add for your course the materials students may or may not need. The retake late work missing assignment policy for your team needs to be entered in there, and other information as well. So you can go to this site to get your curriculum, take a quick look at your curriculum maps, to look at the course syllabus templates, and hopefully that gives you a sense of something to work on in between now and the start of the school year. Certainly, again, you should be in contact with your department chairs, your team members if possible, to make sure you are absolutely clear on what you should be teaching next year. So I'm back on the Tech for New Teachers site. So you have a couple of links there. There's a curriculum mapping website, which gives a little bit more information about mapping and the types of maps and each of the columns, so standards, understandings and essential questions, the content and instructional outcomes, sort of how we are going to define those if you really want to dig into it and drill into it, and more mapping resources. There is a curriculum mapping Prezi, and if you haven't seen Prezi, it's a cool presentation tool you might be able to use. This one I did when I was just starting with Prezi, and if you know anything about it, you can kind of zoom in and zoom out. It's a little bit too zoomy. Just because you can make it zoom around and spin around doesn't mean you should, as I learned. That's a presentation I gave to the entire faculty, and I think I made 90% of everybody sick. So that's probably not the best presentation tool, but it gives some information there. So take some Dramamine if you're going to take a look at that presentation. And then I've also written a blog post that really goes more into the syllabi, as I was describing there, and the priority standards. And I know your heads are already full up with a ton of information, but if you have a chance, please take a look at that that blog post. So this is a blog that I run, Leiden Curriculum Instruction Information, long-winded messages specific to Leiden staff. So you can take a look at what I'm thinking about with the syllabi, what the required elements are, a little bit more about priority standards, sort of about our curriculum framework. All right, and with that, I will cut off this particular part of the presentation and talk amongst yourselves until we're ready to move to the next portion.